I could have let it play on, we could have had the happy fun time clown music there. But how you all doing, folks? We are back again for the final coffee break of the week. Can you believe it? 4 shows so far. I think I've done really well this week. Don't you think? I've kept to my kind of promise, stuck to my plan. And today, to round off the KBS coffee weeks, for $5, I will love you long time. And I promise that you will get a happy ending at the end of this stream. But either way, neither myself nor the robots that I'm going to talk about today. It's not going to be a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and then we're just out of here. No, no, no. It's going to be a good hour, maybe an hour and a half of some very fun topics, but at the same time, some very serious stuff as well. And I've seen somebody in the chat room saying, be sure and send that link to your mum. Way ahead of you, way ahead of you. Yeah, embarrassed myself yesterday. Thought I'd get it sent out early. We might even get Johnny Whistles jumping into the chat today. I've sent him a link to this as well. We've got King Sweet in there. We have got 2 of the 3 goddess mods in the chat room. We have Nana. We have Kristen. Any problems, you can ask them. Anything you like, within reason, obviously. We've got Dead, one of our latest people to be issued a wrench in there. We've got Jules, Valley, the Lazy Kraken Gaming channel. Love it. Absolutely love it. We've got India Kane. Love that name as well. That's pretty cool. So then, what are we going to get into today? Well, I'm liking how this daytime show goes, right? Because I'm not even attempting to do this. But if you've been here all week, you've seen how one show just kind of naturally flows into the next, right? It's like there's an update on stuff we've been talking about in the previous days, comes to light just before we do the stream that day. And, creak. I need to get the WD-40 out from my microphone arm. And today is going to be no different, right? Because yesterday we ended up diving into the whole AI, the robotics, things like that. And we had that big revelation on the show where Geordie Rose, the guy that created D-Wave, his new company, Sanctuary, I was taking you all over there to have a look at the most human-looking synths in the world. Some of the most advanced robots and AI out there. And we found that there's something going wrong, right? Sanctuary is back to just having a password-protected web page. They've deleted, by the looks of it, their Twitter account. And I'm still waiting to hear back from Geordie. I did message him yesterday. I was trying to say to him, you need to get ahead of what will undoubtedly be thousands of conspiracies flying up off the back of Sanctuary being down. And you'll have noticed, folks, apart from having a laugh and a joke about, maybe the AI's taken over and kicked Geordie out, things like that. That's all it is. It's a laugh and a joke. And I'm certainly going to wait until I get some official word on what's happening there. I could speculate until not the cows come home, maybe the robots come home. And we could have some really good fun as to what may or may not have occurred. Fictionally at Sanctuary, okay? But then we're talking about Sanctuary and the robots yesterday. And then I get a message from a new author or an author I hadn't heard about. And she writes all about robots. And then last night on the show, I was reading out one of her articles. And it was dealing with sex robots, robots taking our jobs, that kind of thing. So at the time, I'd said potentially that this is going to be a new guest that we get on the show. Today, Debbie Elliott has got back in touch with me, and we are going to be bringing her onto the show. I'm going to hopefully get her onto the show next week, and that's the nighttime show, the Kev Baker show. We might simulcast it. We'll see what's happening. But she's the author of a book called Monkey Mind, Robot Body. And that's one thing, okay? But when I started to look for news for today, it got weird. It got really weird. It got really cool. And I've been really excited about coming on to talk to you, right? Because I think we've got something kind of special going here. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something really cool about this afternoon stream. Might be all of you out there coming together. Might be the whole lot of us. I don't know what it is, man. We're just on a really good frequency, a really good vibe. So this is just a really quick article here about the guest that we're going to be bringing on. And it's a brilliant entree for what we're going to be getting into today, because we're going to be taking a look at the weird and wacky world of sex robots. and the rise of sex robots. And more importantly, and more comically, what could go wrong when you have people falling in love with and having intimate relationships with what is nothing more than nuts and bolts and clever algorithms? I mean, what could possibly go wrong with that, right? Right? Exactly. So then, let me come down to this article, and I believe that Debbie actually writes for the Sunday Tribune. But if we read this here, it says, Monkey Mind, Robot Body, the Myth of AI. Debbie Elliott talked to the Sunday Tribune about her new book, Monkey Mind, Robot Body, The Myth of AI. And it says, artificial intelligence is penetrating so many aspects of contemporary human life. Lucky that word penetrating didn't come later on in the show, because it would have taken on a far different meaning altogether, right? Right? From bionic implants to computer-enhanced brains, from robot assistants to new kinds of cyborgs, AI is changing the way that we think and we live. Using science fiction tropes such as time travel and character progression, combined with ideas of transhumanism, Elliott investigates through fiction and myth possibilities for a next stage of human existence, enhanced through scientific development. And as a philosopher and a theologian, through her work, she examines the impact that AI may have on religious thought. A central theme is dualism, the existence or not of a spirit or soul. I can imagine this is going to trigger people when she comes onto the show then. It imagines possible religious practices in a changed world, such as prayer, ritual, and methods of human-divine communication. Quote, the world the book inhabits is complex. It considers aspects of ecology, religion, and centers on relationships between humans and our future counterparts, whether they are considered transhumans or cyborgs. It's not only been a philosophical challenge for me as a writer, but also an emotional challenge, demanding empathetic as well as intellectual strength. I keep thinking, does this sound too crazy? Sounds like when I'm doing my show, I think I probably say that to myself maybe 4 or 5 times a week, easily. Hey! Is there a chat?
Heart.
There was a chat there. There was. Did my chat bot get... No, it was a heart. You see, we've got the Australian AI assistant. Brody, thank you very, very, very much, brother. And my heart goes right back to you. And if anyone does want to support the stream today, it's a YouTuber End of the Month Syndrome here in Glasgow. It would be greatly appreciated. There's a PayPal link down below as well. That cuts out the Google middleman. But I didn't tell you that, okay? I didn't tell you that. But let's get back into it, because like I say, $5, me love you long time. No dollar, me love you equally long time. And there'll be no wham bam, thank you ma'am by the end of this, okay? And all that's going to become clear in a moment as well. But we get back into this. And again, thank you, Brody. Almost shat myself there when that noise went off. I forgot I'd put that new noise on. But hey, we're still here. I'm okay, right? Says here, I kept thinking, does this sound too crazy? But then we don't know what's going to happen with AI. And that's a really good point. None of us truly know what's going to happen with AI. And we can always keep that in mind. We can have our ideas. We can have our opinions. But in the end of the day, we're yet to see what really comes to fruition. Whether it even ever gets to that artificial general intelligence, okay? So it goes on to say, and what it is capable of. There are plenty of dystopian treatments in science fiction, but very few that look at the contributions of AI positively. That I like. The scenarios in my projection are not based on any existing classic that readers may be familiar with, such as J. G. Ballard or Philip K. Dick. So that's Debbie Elliott. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed we can get her for next week, one of the nights on the show. If not, it's definitely going to be in the month of September, okay? I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. I've learned to do that. I truly have. When you're on one of these kind of synchronistic waves, go with it, folks. Go with it. Go with your gut. Go with your heart. Don't think about it too much when this all happens. And once you start seeing these synchronicities, it's kind of cool. It's only past couple of years I've started noticing them, and I'm not new agey. I'm nothing like that. I'm just Kev. But once you see synchronicities, it's important. It's almost like the universe giving you a nudge, telling you or nudging you in which direction to go. So we'll come back to the chat room before we start to get into the weird and wacky world of the sex bots. And it's not just we're talking about sex bots. There's been a new story comes out today that I think really makes it important that we do discuss this. So I'm just going to take a quick drink of coffee since this is a chilled out stream. I need to forget. This is one of the big mistakes I make during the day, folks. I keep thinking I'm that polished, kind of professional sounding, or at least attempting to sound professional, like I do on TFR for the radio show that goes out live around the world, thousands of listeners. And Kristen, we speak on Discord, and Nancy, I speak to her on Facebook. And the one thing I want to kind of keep the daytime stream as is just me, just us, just hanging out. No real show per se. Yeah, we've got stories, but it's all of us basically, shooting the shit, coming together. And more importantly, because it's Friday, and I hope you've got that Friday feeling, right? Because it's Friday, we start to get a little freaky. So my chat's not coming up on the stream here. Don't know what's happened there. Give me 2 seconds. I shall try and rectify that as we speak. I was saying to Kristen as well, I'm getting really used to this whole, what would you call it, streaming now. And I blame my good friend Unirock. I also blame people like Mr. Metaker. And I blame Jeremy from the Quartering. And any of those channels, if you haven't checked them out, all 3 of them are really good. I'm going to start recommending some channels as well on the daytime streams. They might be your cup of tea. They might not. You might entirely agree that they're good channels. You might think they're absolute bunk, but that's okay because we'll get your recommendations as well. And I see War has sneaked into the chat room, and Deborah says, Kev's so glad you were on this afternoon. I really enjoy our little get-togethers in the afternoon. It's cool, isn't it? There's definitely a vibe in the live chat here on KBS. And if you go to other live streams, not to be derogatory to them, nothing against them. I go to other live streams. I'm there. They're obviously good. I'm sitting watching them. Sometimes the chat gets a bit off topic. In here, it's really cool. And Kristen says, yeah, if you don't know by now, Kev and I are friends. Yes. Kristen is a fan of the beard and the accent. And no, I met her over at Unirock's channel, and I'm just so lucky to have her, Nana, other mods, War, people like that coming over from unis because they're far more experienced at this whole modding thing and everything else, the whole live streaming thing than I am. And what I'm going to do is, right, my boy's sitting making noises in the background, which usually means he wants something. So I'm just going to be back in 2 seconds, okay? Just like that, I was back. One thing I've learned is you don't leave a 17-year-old, unattended because his mum throws the shoe. I'm not saying he'd throw a shoe at me, but sorted. He's going away to football now, and hopefully doesn't get too injured. Remember, score some goals, right? Come on, you've got to get signed for Celtic so I can stop streaming and we can be rich and famous, and it's worth a try, right? But we're back, folks. We're back. I can't remember where we were. We were in the chat room. That's where we were. Wait till I turn this music down just a little bit. There we go. Since we're in the chat room, we'll leave it on a little bit. What else is happening in here? Mr. Knight. Hello, Kristen. Hope you're having a good one. That one moved away too quickly. Love your stream, Charlie Robinson. Charlie, man, what's happening? You're going to have to get in here for one of these afternoon sessions, dude. What a blast we'll have. Wait till you see some of the craziness I've got for us today, man. Crazy. I thought women, as in real women, were bad enough, hard enough to handle. You're married, man. You know the score. You'd think that the rise of the sex robots and robotic women, it would answer all of our prayers, right? We wouldn't get nagged anymore, anything like that. Turns out, might not be the case. But we're getting to there, okay? We're getting to there. So somebody's having a bad tech day. And that's Renzo, one of our new members here on the channel. We've got somebody saying quantum nowhere now here. You are rich with Irish blood, my friend. No, not Irish. I'm Scottish, dude. I do have Irish blood in me. But I don't know. Everyone seems to mistake the Scots for the Irish and vice versa. And I don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm over here. I don't get it. I think there's a big difference. I really do. But anyway, enough of me blabbering on, right? Let's get into some of the funniness, some of the madness. So we're talking robots, we're talking sex bots, and these things are getting really, really creepy. You've probably heard of people saying the uncanny valley. Well, today we're going to cross the uncanny valley and then some. We truly are. Because the lines between these robots and humans are becoming so blurred. And I get it. Some of the ones that you see, you can blatantly tell it's a robot, right? There's no doubt in it. You're like that. That's a robot. However, as we move on into this brave new world, see, I dropped that one in there. Yep. It's going to become to the point where literally you can't tell. Now, I watch a couple of TV shows, and we're going to bring some of them up as we go on in this, that really depict what I'm talking about. They're TV shows, obviously, they're works of fiction, but they're so close to reality, it's creepy, it's unnerving. And what they do is they get actresses and actors to play the parts of robots, which obviously makes them very, very lifelike and indistinguishable, right? And I get it, it's a TV show. It's not the real world. But how long until that is the real world? How long until we really are talking about not just mechanical robots with like latex skin and warm to the touch, things like that, but literally biological synthetic beings? How long? I don't think too long, to be honest to you. I really don't. And this is where things are going to start getting a bit bizarre when we enter that time. And I would say maybe 5, 10 years. That's not that long when you think about it. But when you look at the rate, the current curve that we're on with the robots and how lifelike they're getting as it is in the public eye, what have they got behind the scenes? I mean, we're going to be talking about DARPA a little bit soon as well. They're doing something really weird right now. I'll get your thoughts on that. But what have they got behind the scenes? We've all seen the whole Boston Dynamics one. It does like kung fu now. It does backflips. It looks like Jackie Chan. You know what I'm talking about. They're getting better and better all the time. And that's the ones they're showing us. Now, I seen somebody in the chat room earlier on saying robots are walking amongst us. I would not be surprised. I honestly wouldn't. I can't sit here. I'd love to sit here and categorically tell you that no, don't be so stupid. There's no such thing as these clones and these super soldiers that you hear about and robots and synths. You know, that doesn't happen. But I can't tell you that. I can tell you probably 90% of the people who do claim to be super soldiers may not be, but that still leaves 10% that very undecided. And I do think that's a real thing. I do think cloning is going on. To what extent? I'm not too sure. And it's one of those things that none of us really know. But it wouldn't surprise me if you're walking down the street and you came to find out that maybe 2 of the people you passed during your week or month that you've been walking about somewhere, they weren't even human, or not fully human anyway. So let's get to the first story today, right? Let's get into this. This is where we can start to have some Me Love You Long Time $5. You know what comes next, right? But check this out. Check this out. For anyone planning to get their freak on with a robot, think twice. Yes, all you deviants and perverts out there were thinking, awesome, man, we'll get ourselves a mechanical girl. You know, she'll do the dishes, wake up in the morning, the house will be clean. She'll never moan. She knows exactly what I like, exactly how to touch me. It's going to be heaven on earth, right? Not if you get one of these ones here, folks, because this one here, sex robots with coding errors prone to violence and could strangle humans. Now, I would play the clip, but as you can see, maybe it's full of the watermark from the Daily Star. And having been on YouTube for far too many years, I know the Daily Star are one company that are savage. Absolutely savage. They won't just take the ad money off you. They'll issue a proper hard strike. So we're not going to play that, but we'll read some of this, okay? It says sex robots plagued with coding errors could be prone to violent behaviours, including strangling, an expert has warned. Well, I would suggest maybe this isn't a defect. Maybe they just need to market this one differently for some of those sick freaks out there who are into a bit of that. I don't know. People nowadays, whatever gets your rocks off, hey, that's up to you. But some of the sick stuff you hear about and you see, it makes my mind boggle. But I'm about to unleash the best name ever on all of you. Doll collector, Brick Dollbanger. Now, he hasn't made that name up. He was born with that name, obviously. He was christened Brick Dollbanger. I'm not making it up. Look, I'm going to blow this up so you can see here. Look. Doll collector, Brick Dollbanger. That's a name and a half, isn't it? Fears violent repercussions if robots are not regulated properly. He believes a simple coding error could turn AI girlfriends against their owners if they are equipped with free will. Now, Brick, who has close ties with manufacturers Realbotics and Abyss, told the Daily Star Online, "It scares me to death. It's a machine, and it's always going to be a machine," says a man called Brick Dollbanger. Really? Really, Brick? You're really scared, or you've really sat and thought about the fact this is a machine? I don't really think that you're too bothered about it being a machine. In fact, I think that attracts you. You sick little man. But look at this thing here, okay? Now, obviously, you see that in the street, you're going to say, well, that's a robot, right? You're not going near there. I get it, folks. I get it. But it says, if you have watched the movies Ex Machina, because I honestly believe synthetics are going to look very similar to that movie. It's not going to be something that you can hit with a pipe and it's going to fall apart. Sick, man. So he's taking this robot doll home and he's already thinking about whacking it over the head with a pipe. This guy needs to be kind of watched around real women, by the way. Old Brick Dollbanger there. I've always said when a synthetic can support itself, that synthetic is going to be much stronger than a normal human. It's going to be made more durable. Instead of having bones, it might have high impact plastic or aluminium frame. It's going to be very strong and it won't get tired. It won't stop unless it runs out of an energy supply. Now, I can't figure out there because by the end of it, at the start of it, it's making it sound like he's a bit scared of the fact it's not human. But then by the end of it, it's almost as if he's getting excited by the fact that it keeps going till the batteries run out, right? But what would you expect from a guy called Brick Dollbanger, after all? Mr. Dollbanger, imagine you're sitting there in the doctors or something. Hey, Dollbanger, that's your turn now. You wouldn't move, would you? You'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Dollbanger. Yep, exactly. So we come down here. Now, again, blatantly obvious. It's a robot, right? What's it going to look like 10 years from now? That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing. Now, unless you can stop it with some kind of projectile. Oh, my filthy mind. Like a gun or something like that. If this thing got out of control, it could do some serious damage. He added one line of bad code. As simple as that. Just one line of bad code. You can picture old Dollbanger, can't you? Sitting there, I can't believe it. Do I risk it? Do I risk it for that one dodgy line of code? What if I don't perform? We're talking about a man who's obviously carved out a life sleeping with non-human dolls, okay? This is one sick puppy. I hope the robot hits him with a pipe. I hope his robot one day, when he wakes up, it's just right there in his face, pipe ready to go. But hey, I don't want to call for violence against Wallbanger or Dollbanger or whatever the hell we're calling him. Hey, Susie Lewis has become a sponsor. Oh, yes. That means we're down to 10 more UniRach in the chat room. Wow. Why are you looking at pictures of my girlfriend, Kev? Listen, UniRach, they're going to get better as we go on. Trust me. Some of them even, they're definitely human, but we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Some of them, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if we caught some of these sex dolls in the future being like our future LARPers here on YouTube. Maybe Unirock's going to have to expose them, expose the sex dolls. That sounds like a whole different kind of line of programming altogether. Probably not for YouTube. Probably not for children to be watching, that's for sure. So it says here, if you make one mistake and you have a line of bad code in there, and it hits this line of bad code, depending on what it's doing or where it's at or numerous other instances, it could just decide this is what it's supposed to do. It says eyes, or it's been programmed, and more likely it's going to be answering to a cloud server or some kind of some kind to get updated to have any kind of work done on AI itself. It will have to link to the server. Right, okay. I'm glad that your name is Brick Dollbanger and you've found a career banging dolls, because you're never going to get a job in the IT world, dude. You stick to the rubber ones, stick to the inflatable ones. These robot things are going to confuse you, Brick. The fact I'm calling somebody Brick, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I find it hilarious. And it wouldn't stop until those things occurred. Put it this way. It can put its arms around your neck and just stop you from breathing. This is one sick puppy. He sat and thought about this, and you wouldn't be able to get away from it. Something as simple as that. A simple hug could be a constriction that could literally compress your chest airway and stop you breathing. Now, I imagined when I read this first today, as opposed to any prospective customer thinking, well, that's it then. I'm out. Sex robot game isn't for me. You just know these sick perverts are thinking, that is exactly what I want happening. They don't consider that a bad line of code. They consider that a bonus extra, right? That's what they're after. So, I don't know about this one. And see now, you see, if that had a body, nice eyes, but still very robot-y, right? It can keep constricting until you stop breathing. Brick, stop sounding so excited. Sex robot technology is rapidly advancing, with new updates regularly emerging, and Realbotics is working on equipping sex robots with vision and expect robots to be walking in only a decade. Cloud Climax is also... Cloud Climax, oh please. Cloud Climax has also finished its first doll with full artificial intelligence, promising they can replace human intimacy. I don't think anything can replace human intimacy, to be honest with you. Funnily enough, for human intimacy, you need to be with a fellow human, not with something that's been constructed from blueprints all the way out to filling it with AI to complete its function as a sex bot. Now, what happens when these AIs as well, they keep getting more clever and more clever, and one day the sex bot says no. What happens then? And this is important, as much as we have a laugh and a joke about this, because sex bots are real, and it's not just girl ones, there's bloke ones as well. You know, somebody says in the chat room, I want one. No, I definitely prefer my women to come with a pulse, organs, skin. Human is my preference, although I don't rule out the odd Nordic alien if she comes off and she's looking like some Swedish goddess. I get it, but no, definitely only humans for me, all right? Call me old-fashioned, man. I'm just one of these toxic males that's old school, you know? Give me a woman with a pulse any day. But yeah, there's dude ones out there as well, so don't think I'm being like sexist here. Don't think it's my toxicity that's shining through and raining the day. Not at all, because this goes both ways. But what happens when the doll says no? Is it still a machine at that point? If it's aware that it's been literally at that point, then if it's aware of what's happening, does that make it rape? Oof, you hear a penny drop now, eh? Laughter stops now. That's why it's, although a comical subject, it's really important as well. And I love to watch TV shows that kind of take these topics and present them in a fictional manner because it's really thought provoking and it really gets you thinking about the future that we're moving into. And one such program that I found recently, it's called, and comes from my beloved Russia, it's on Netflix, it's called Better Than Us, which translates to Better Than Humans. And it says it's a Russian science fiction television series created by Andrei Yunkovsky, and it was produced by Yellow, Black and White. That's hard reading that because it's in red. Yellow, Black and White in cooperation with Sputnik Vostok Production for the Russian state channel C1R. Now, if we come over here to Netflix, what I'll do is I'll refresh this page, and I'm fingers crossed we can watch about a minute of this. But this here, this is the robot, the super robot. And as you'll come to find if you watch the show, these robots aren't treated well at all. And there's a big sex robot industry, but it goes far, far deeper than that and starts to ask some really important questions. Will it go? Yay.
My name is Arisa.
Such models emerge, especially on the black market. Where's my bot? Where's my bot?
I don't know.
Daddy, I met a bot. She is very beautiful.
You said it was a heart attack. There's cervical damage. Neck's broken.
In Australia, life will be much better for them.
Without their dad.
These bots are ruining people's daily lives.
She's a robot. Just a piece of...
Okay, I'm going to leave it there, folks, obviously, for copyright issues, stuff like that. But this is a really good show. And it shows how when these robots do start to take over the jobs, this is maybe, I'm not sure what year it's set in precisely, but not too far into the future, where you've got robot assistants, robots doing jobs, sex robots, things like that. But you start to see the rise of a group in this called the Liquidators. These are people that are very anti-robot. And it gets to the point where they're literally carrying out what could be considered terror attacks on the robots to try and bring about some political change as to the ruling, as to the regulations around these things and how much they're impacting society. And of course, it really touches on some important things like when a robot's self-aware, you know, where do you draw the line? When does it stop being a machine and when does it become something else? And is it even a good idea to allow people to fulfill some of their darkest fantasies in this way? Now, I imagine there'd be a camp of people say, yeah, that means they won't be carrying out any of these nasty shenanigans on people in public. But I come from it the other side, and I think, you know, yeah, people would find an outlet that way for sure to begin with, but when is that not enough? And when do they move on from that to progress back to commit crimes on actual humans? And these are things we're going to have to think about because this is literally one of the reasons they say they're bringing these things into being in the real world anyway. Now, another show that deals with this, and I urge everyone to check this one out, it's a belter, it truly is. Humans. If you're in the UK, Humans is on Channel 4. You can watch it for free. There's been 2 seasons so far, and this robot here, she's the main star of the show. And in one of the episodes, it shows how you get like a nanny. It does the housework, things like that. And then, though, if you're an adult, you've got a scratch card, and you scratch it off, and you get a special happy fun time, one-time code, and you can put it into adult mode, you know. Me love you long time, no even $5 because you own the thing. You get the picture, right? But this is a really, really good show to watch for anyone out there who wants to kind of get into more of this topic, see how other people are tackling this future that we're moving into. And there was something I found on the website here today that was a bit weird, right? National Synth Detection Unit. Now, I get it, folks. I get it, okay? It's all marketing for the show. I don't literally think that this test is going to differentiate between humans and synths. Or is it? But it comes down here and it tells you we can identify you. The human test is a Ministry of Special Technologies approved set of questions assisted to determine whether you are a human or a synth. Now, for use with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. So you can literally, like, I believe, take a test on your Alexa if you have one, and it'll tell you if you're a synth or not. Maybe we don't want to find out the answer to that, right? Maybe that'd be the best thing if we didn't find out the answer. So it says, recent human test detection below. Click your synth outcome to find out more about your test results. So this is something quite interesting. I'll drop the link in the chat room, okay? Most wanted. Where's the chat room gone? Here it is down here. So yeah, we'll get that in there. I found it quite interesting, okay? But this whole robot thing, we're going to come over here now. We're going to look at some of the various kind of models that they've got out and about just now. Nothing, not going to get sleazy or any sleazier than I have already. Just as an example of what we're looking at here. And this one here, this one freaked me out. Do you know why she freaked me out? Because they gave her a Scottish accent. And it's uncanny, because if I was to close my eyes, I wouldn't know if you were human or if it was just one of the local, like a robot. I wouldn't be able to tell with the eyes closed. Few pints, you know, partying hard. The mind boggles. It's terrifying what could happen in the near future. Uncanny valley. Now, if they were to come with a clear back of their head like that, I'd be happy. You can definitely differentiate between humans and machines then. But they're not going to make them like that, are they? And then as we scroll further down here, you start to see, here's one of the sickos. And he is a sicko, okay, because, well, he's a rich sicko, because he's just unveiled a 7,000 talking sex robot. Doesn't he just look far too comfortable in the company? Like, pulling Joe's face. If you've seen Joe on the live stream, that's Joe's face, right? And there's one of the male ones, see? It's not just female ones. It's male dolls as well. And then I think this dude here, if I remember rightly, that's Brick. I think that's Brick Dollbanger. I'm going to check it out. I think it is. Hang on. Hang on, I'll take it off the screen here, because when I type in Brick Dollbanger, I don't know what the hell's going to come up here. Brick Dollbanger. Let's see. Images. Hang on. Oh, this could get funny. Okay. See if I can find it here. Oh, look at this. Brick Dollbanger did at one point have a YouTube channel. Funnily enough, you know, with the way the algorithm is all these days. I'm not surprised that Brick Dollbanger no longer has a YouTube page. The mind boggles as to what the hell was going on when he was doing his live streams and things like that. I have no idea. Like I say, mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. So what do you all think about sex robots? Do you think they're a good idea? Do you think they are absolutely inherently disgusting, evil, never going to be a real thing? You know, if you don't think they're going to be a real thing, go and look at the state of, like, old, like, blow-up dolls and things like that. They were a thing. There's sick people out there who would, like, have intimate relations with a blow-up doll. I'm definitely thinking that these nuts and bolts AI robots are going to have no problems finding lovers whatsoever. That's just a fact. That there's so many people out there who have so many weird kinks and things that get them off. I'm laughing because it makes my mind boggle. I used to think, being in the army and that, I pretty much heard it all, seen it all. Hadn't tried all of it, but I thought I was a man of the world. But I tell you what, you read some stories nowadays and you read people's, what they're into and things. I just can't get my head around it. I used to think I was a bit kinky, but honestly, I'm very, very reserved and tamed compared to some of these people that you hear about today. And what's causing that? You know, I don't get into the whole, if people are gay and everything, I'll see as long as you're an adult and you're consenting and you're not harming anyone against their will, absolutely have at it. You know, go for it. Go for it. But what's brought us to a place where now people would realistically, some people would rather have a relationship with something non-human than human. I can't wrap my head around that. I can't. And I get that some people are gay. Guys like guys, girls like girls. Absolutely. Like I said to you, nothing against it. Have at it. More the merrier. Everyone's having a good time. Go for it. But what's really driven us away from that man-woman relationship, have babies, they grow up, man-woman. You see how the population continues? And you get some of those feminazis out there, and you're bound to have seen them, that actually call for like men to be murdered in the streets and things. How they want the human race to go on without men, though, just purely women taking it forward. And if you think I'm lying about that, I'm not. I remember putting a tweet out maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it was some rabid feminazi telling her fellow females to go out and, you know, start attacking men in the street. We need to actually be killing them anytime we see them. Sounds ridiculous. It sounds over the top. But I checked her out. No, this was genuine. This was bona fide. This was the attitude this person had. And it's an attitude shared by many. So what's taken us to this place? How the hell did things get so weird? When did things get so weird? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe that's what it is. Perhaps. I don't know. The uncanny valley, like I said, we are most definitely crossing it right now. Couldn't bloody find my music there. Couldn't find where to turn it off. Rookie mistake, folks. Rookie mistake. So yeah, the uncanny valley. King Sweet. He's so happy. King, I couldn't find a robot that looked like the Queen anywhere. I could not find one. Nobody has been sick enough to make a latex Queen yet. But I know, King Sweet, I know that you're waiting for that. And we've got Mr. D-Ball Money. I like that. Adios, Kev. Tessa says, I'll take a dep, a bit and a Rickman. Mama says, Netflix show, I am mother about a robot raising a child. Oh, yes. Mama Shaibul. Well remembered, well remembered. Where is that one now? I've not watched that one yet, to be honest with you. You just reminded me about it. I am mother. There it is there. Oh, hang on. We don't want to be putting that on. I was hopefully going to get just the little trailer bit that comes up. Hang on, folks. Where is it? It's not working. But yeah, that's another one that definitely needs to be watched. I haven't checked it out yet. So whoever that was in the chat talking about that, let us know how good it is. Is it worth watching? Yep. I think, you know me, I'm into my sci-fi and all that stuff. I'm bound to watch it. You know that. And I've just had a message from TFR Command from the HQ. For anyone out there who's been having problems on TalkStream, on TuneIn Radio, on iHeartRadio, stuff like that, any of the affiliates that we already go out on, then we are back. We are going out loud and clear on all of the different platforms. There was a few coding issues, not the kind of coding that makes the sex bot strangle people or anything like that. No. Our illustrious leader, Mr. Geo, has tracked it down. We're good to go. He's chased up all the affiliates. He's chased up all the apps. TFR is restored to full working order. I hope to see you all over there tonight for Freaky Friday. I might simulcast tonight. I'll see how Joe and Scott are feeling. And wait till you see Joe's new wheels, man. He's got a smart wheelchair. I'm absolutely over the moon for him. And of course, me and Joe and Scott, we get on so well that we'll be able to have some fun about this smart wheelchair. I mean, what does a smart wheelchair do? I mean, what kind of add-ons and what extras do you get with the Wi-Fi enabled chair? This is going to be awesome. I wonder if it's got an autopilot. Does it have like a Tesla autopilot? Does it drive itself and Scott can just sit there and do his videos? And it's going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I'm looking forward to speaking to Scotty and the guys later. Now let me find my chat room. Where the hell have you gone? There you all are. Did I see Nana is going away? If I did, yeah, I think so. Nana, I will talk to you later. It's great to see you here. And we've got Aunt Nanny Granny. Now, a robot maid might be handy. Toilets, dishes, dusting. Aunt Nanny. You see, this is the positive side of robots that I can see. Oh, I was listening to, I think it might even have been Alex Jones the other day. It doesn't matter where I heard it. We'll probably have to check it out. But it sounds right that there's a real problem right now with loneliness. Despite the fact that we're the most connected, interconnected we've ever been in this iteration of civilization, human-to-human contact is on the down. There's more people in America now in a study, and again, there'll be studies to counter this, but for argument's sake, it serves the purpose here. And they say that more people now don't have a physical close friend. They don't have anyone they regard as being close with. Now, how can a robot that provides that companionship, maybe if you're getting older, they can do the toilets, the dishes, and things like that, how can that honestly be a bad thing if it improves the quality of life of the human involved? Japan as well, a big problem there with an aging population and not enough people to care for them. And this is somewhere where we're going to start seeing these companion robots, and I believe they're already starting to roll out over there. How is that a bad thing? And that's why in recent times I've tried to flip round from the ooga booga negative, all darkness when it comes to AI and robots, to looking at it from the other perspective, trying to be optimistic about it because of the potential that it holds. I mean, this could be the paradigm changing moment if we really embrace it and do it right. As Elon Musk says, it could be the end of civilization moment as well. It's that kind of knife edge. And I think it was yesterday I was saying, never have we ever created a tool before that has the potential to turn on us. And that's why I get it. I get some people's fears, and they're right to have these fears. And that's why we need to have these conversations, you know. Truly, that's what I believe anyway. Lee says, I don't do fiction, Philip Blair, when reality is stranger. No time for blue chickens and brown cows. Hod God. Kev, the robot may see you as rubbish. It may, but, you know, I'd hope it would be coded to tell you that you were, like, the best lover it's ever had that day or something like that. I don't know. Like I told, hey, anyway, like I said, there's no wham bam thank you ma'am with Kev Baker, okay? Be it streaming, be it whatever kind of thing we're participating in. So Philip Blair, UK have Minister for Loneliness now. No, you're right. Philip is bang on. Let me just bring that up. Minister for loneliness. Yep. Check this out, folks. Minister for Loneliness appointed to continue Joe Cox's work. Now, that goes way back to January 2018, but then there's more recent ones here. October last year, PM launches government's first loneliness strategy, and this comes from gov.uk. Loneliness is one of the greatest public health challenges of our time, Theresa May said as she launched the first cross-government strategy to tackle it. The Prime Minister confirmed all GPs in England will be able to refer patients experiencing loneliness to community activities and voluntary services by 2023. I'm going to drop that in the chat room for anyone who wants to check that out. Well remembered, Philip. Well remembered. There you go. That's in the chat room for people to check out. I see Matthew back in the chat room today. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Tomorrow, Tool, new album, Fred Doe says. Scott Lopez and Joe Joseph were talking about that. They're big Tool fans, I believe. ZX81 is back in the chat room. ZX81, eh? What a long way we've come from Sir Clive Sinclair's Spectrums and ZX81s to a world now where we're literally talking about people shacking up with and getting their rocks off with robots, getting your freak on with a pile of mechanical nuts and bolts and latex. You know, I must admit, over the years, I'm not proud of it, but being in the army and things like that and having an accent like this and traveling the world, I've had a few relationships. And from time to time, I must admit, some of the humans that I slept with did seem rather robotic, so should I really have a problem with that? Oh, luckily Anne's not in, or I'd be getting the shoe right about now, right? But no, loneliness, there's a reason. There's one example of how the robots could be advantageous. Think of all the crap jobs as well that really humans shouldn't be doing, you know, down in sewers, cleaning out crap out of a toilet, Fukushima, nuclear plants, radioactive chemical spills, all that kind of stuff. Should we be throwing humans in there when now we've got these robots that can do it for us? But again, when do you draw the line between machine and some kind of life form? Because if they're go beyond being a machine into being a life form where they're self-aware, then are we not using them as slaves? And is there not a danger they might see themselves as being used as slaves, and then that might actually result in one of them getting nasty during happy fun time, me love you, long time $5? See what I'm saying? All good stuff to think about, and it is Freaky Friday, so we are getting ready for the Freaky Friday. We're getting our freak on right here today before the freakiness later on. But I've got a couple of other stories I want to bring you, and this next one, I do not know what to make of this. You talk about some good woo. I'm telling you, you want something to launch 1,000 conspiracies with one headline, then here it is, folks. Why does DARPA need a huge underground facility by Friday? Today. Why? Think about it. It says here, DARPA is often described as the mad science wing of the Defense Department. They're the ones who have a history of working on cutting-edge technology for the military, like virtual fences, disaster relief robots, and the invention of the internet itself. They even tried to build Skynet in the 1980s. But DARPA sent out a tweet today that's making people a little nervous. The agency wants a large underground facility for testing of some sort, and they need it by Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Here's the tweet here. Attention, city dwellers. We're interested in identifying university-owned or commercially managed underground urban tunnels and facilities able to host research and experimentation. At short notice, we're asking for a response by August the 30th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, by my clock, it's 1 p.m. Eastern Time right now. getting ready to go all Paul Begley and put the shits up people there and start saying, oh, it's the end of the world. I don't know what it's about, folks. I don't know at all. I bet you I'll put money on 5 p.m. Eastern time today, coming and going. 99.9% sure there's nothing nefarious in the works. But again, I'm just speculating because I don't know. It's a weird one though, right? And like I say, that headline alone, that's going to launch thousands of conspiracies. Says here, DARPA explained in a follow-up tweet that the ideal location would be several city blocks with complex layouts and multiple stories. Gizmodo reached out to DARPA, and the agency confirmed that the turnaround time was short, but said that it was originally posted last week. That's still an incredibly short notice for a government agency that needs a large space for its experiments. DARPA wouldn't explain why they needed an underground facility so quickly. Quote, complex urban underground infrastructure can present significant challenges for situational awareness in time-sensitive scenarios, such as active combat operations or disaster response. A DARPA spokesperson who asked to remain nameless told Gizmodo by email, probably an AI, DARPA is interested in exploring this domain for research to analyse and enhance approaches to improve situational awareness and response times in emergency scenarios. Locations submitted could help the research community identify relevant sites for further field experimentation to accelerate the development of such technologies. Now, I think it's to do with this here. It says DARPA is currently hosting the Subterranean Challenge, was a bit like their Robotics Challenge for 2015, only for mapping and traversing underground environments. DARPA's Urban Circuit Challenge is happening in February 2020, so we can guess that this underground location might be for that. But we don't know for sure, and it would be strange to only organise something like this on a week's notice. And this underground subterranean challenge, that's something that Scott spoke to us about before on the show. And you've got various teams competing. I've seen one with like the Boston Dynamics, the grunt, I can't remember what you call it, it's like the dog. Basically just having to go through these tunnels and pretty boring stuff, pretty mundane. But it does make you wonder what this facility is needed for by today. It really does. And why such short notice? I mean, if it was something that had been planned as part of this 2 secs. 2 seconds, folks. I just need to answer something here, and then I'll be right back. Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't be sneaking off with that sex bot. I'm watching you. There we go. Back live. It is me. Or is it me? Could it be like some kind of robot, Kev? Could it be the synth version? I don't know. So, listen, we're almost out of time. I've just got one real... I think it's only one story left to go. Yeah. This is weird. I don't even know if this is a thing. I think this is some kind of fakery going on. I really do. Hang on. I'll kind of get it queued up here. Give me 2 seconds. And yes, I'm taking a puff of a joint before you ask, yes. So let me see now, where is it? We definitely need the funny music on for this one, folks. Because this is weird, this is bizarre. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if it's fake, but it's funny, right? Right, here we go. I'm coming back now. I'm coming back. Here we go. Right, you ready for this? This is bizarre, okay? You hear me and Joe talking about, like, giants and things, right? And that brings up talk of the Nephilim. I've had L.A. Marzulli on the show multiple times. I've had Jim Vieira. I've had Hugh Newman. They came on to talk about their book about giants. And you end up getting into this thing called the Nephilim. Well, what if I was to tell you we've got a thing called the Nephil Thumb? I have found the Nephil Thumb. What the hell's the Nephil Thumb? Pretty much what it says on the tin, folks. It's a big giant thumb. Or is it? Because if there's a human like this kicking around right now, A, I'm never playing him at FIFA on PS4. I'm never going to give him a thumb wrestle. And I just don't know what to make of this. Student shoots to internet fame after showing off a 5-inch thumb. I know some dudes out there that would be quite grateful of a 5-inch something else. And probably the robots as well, let me tell you, okay? Not me, obviously. Come with the caber for nothing. But this dude's got a 5-inch thumb. Think I'm lying? He might be. I don't know. I think there's shenanigans going on here. Let me know what you think. Check that out. That's not real. That can't be real. If that's real, you want to hit that with a hammer. And we're gonna wait and see what the chat room are saying about this, because I'm not buying this, folks, and I've got a video. I've got a video as well. I've got a video, and you know, when I looked at that, I thought I can do that on Photoshop. No problem. I can get something like that rocking. Easy, right? But then there's a video. So the Rock of Thumbraltar. I love it, Tessa. Thumbelina. We have got Goliath, last of the Nephilim. What the hell is that? Exactly. Ladies, I'm pretty sure you would love to go and find a prospective husband with a thumb like this. I'm sure of it. I don't think there's many people with thumbs like that out there. Now, yep, Regina, Photoshop. That's what I thought. But there's a video. Now, I get it. You can do things with After Effects and things as well. We're going to watch the video. Fred Doe, love it. Regina, I'm telling you, you're going to be absolutely blown away in a minute when you see what happens here, okay? And like you, Regina, I think it's fake. I don't think any human has got a thumb like this, right? Geraldine Mitchell could put prostitutes out of business, or they will start taking, or they will be standing at corners as well. You know, when it comes to the sex bots, that's one thing that they have kind of proposed, that this would do away with the sex trade, what they call the oldest trade in the world. Who knows? But let's get back to the thumb. Says here, a student shot to internet fame after showing off his shockingly long 5-inch thumb. Mind boggles. Jacob Pinner from Westport, Massachusetts. I might have known it was somebody close to Joe Joseph. I might have known. Well, I tell him he lives beside the Nephil Thumb. Not Nephilim, Nephil Thumb. You get it. Has been dubbed Thumb Boy. I wouldn't call him Thumb Boy. Guy could poke your eye out for calling him Thumb Boy. After people got a look at his unusually long digit, the 21-year-old said he had no idea why his thumb is largely out of proportion with the rest of his hand, but he has embraced and has used it to shock people online. His elongated digit, just so you see, folks, I've got normal kind of hands and fingers, right? And there's 5 on each hand. I don't have 6 either. Since Saturday, Pinna has gained more than 145 followers on music video creation app TikTok by unveiling his thumb. One of the videos was liked 2 million times. Now, it's not this one here I want to show you, folks. It's this one here I want to show you. It's only 30 seconds, but I want you to tell me, is there shenanigans going on here? Or has this guy got an absolutely ball-busting, massive, eye-poking, tub-thumping thumb? Tell me. You decide.
Hey guys, so this is my thumb. Yes, it's very long. Yes, it's real. And yes, I've never lost a thumb battle.
You see the way... Hang on, let me go back.
This is my thumb.
Look
Yes,
the way
it's
his
very
hand
long.
is.
Yes, it's real. And yes, have never lost a thumb battle.
I don't know. I think that's real now. See at the start when he's got his hands all clasped like that, there looks something fake about it, doesn't it? But then he's moving it about and...
This is my thumb. Yes, it's very long. Yes, it's real. And yes, I've never lost a thumb battle.
Somebody says that I have a Freddy Krueger knife on the end of it. This guy should be banned from fighting. That's like an offensive weapon. You could take somebody's eyeball out from like 20 yards. I don't know. Could be an extension. Yeah, it could be. And at the end of the day, it's Friday and it's a funny thumb. And who gives a shit, right? It's funny. You know, it's thummy. Bad joke, I get it. But that's definitely thummy, right? So we're going to dive into the chat room. We're going to spend 5-10 minutes in there with you great people. Because in the end of the day, there's no show without all of you out there. And it's one thing I'm really desperate to keep going on the stream is having some audience interaction, getting your thoughts. Says a thumb like that could come in handy. Absolutely, for many a thing. And says, I seen a fake finger that my magician buddy has. Mr. Stonely, great. Uni Rach, I'm telling you, this is the kid that asked everyone to pull this in school. Absolutely. Polly says fake. Dead says thumbnado. Brilliant. Well, it's got hybrid DNA. Oh, that's definitely a cool option. I like that. I like it. What else we got? Tessa is double jointed and it's unhitched. Could well be. Very good one. And Regina says, I believe nothing on video, just me. That's cool. Do you believe I'm real? You see, that gets dangerous when you don't believe anything on video. Question it all, but just to automatically dismiss it, I don't know. But with deep fakes and everything else, maybe I'm not even me. Maybe I'm out with a sex bot right now and somebody's just kind of algorithm me up together. I don't know. It's like a jousting, Lance. Well, King Sweet, coming from your royal background, I'd imagine you're quite adept at the jousting, Lance. Indeed. Tiffany, good to see you here, Tiffany. Fred Doe's wife is asking, and I imagine there's a lot of girls wondering right now, if their husband could get such a thumb. Indeed. Who needs sex bots, eh? Who needs sex bots? Golden ratio 1:1.63 is totally non-existent. And that thumb, big time. Aunt Granny, if it's real, I see serious arthritis in his future. Hope he has a permit for that. I hope he has a permit for that thing. He hate me. Love it. Tessa, just the way it looks when he puts it edgeways, the thumb dislocation shows. I think so. If it ain't alive, it's jive. Brilliant, Matthew. Hod God. How does he unzip or do up his button? Busting for a wee. Good point. Good point. Mr. Stonely says, we all know you're actually a sex bot. Cat's out the bag now. I know. If I was a sex bot, I probably would have quite a quiet career ahead of me. I'm pretty sure if they make male sex bots, they're going to look better than this radio face, right? And they're not going to have this kind of multicolored beard thing going on. Do you know what Anne said about my beard? This is another thing, right? That thumb, we'll get back and we'll have one look at the thumb before we go, but I don't know if you can tell, right? I've obviously got a bit of grey in the beard. But Anne turned round to me yesterday and she says, man, oh man, that beard's worse than a pride flag. What? She says I've got bits of ginger in it, there's bits of black in it. I don't know. If it's going to go all multicoloured and looking like a pride beard, I'm going to have to shave it off, folks. It's going to look ridiculous, you know. Fred Doe says, G-spot super thumb. Indeed. Who needs a map when you've got a thumb like that, Freddie? We have got Kev is a sex bow. Oh, Tessa, absolutely made my day. Thank you. Are we done with sex robots, says Nana. What would you like to know about the sex robots? I think once you see this thumb, Nana, I think you might be done with the sex robot. I think the boy with the thumb might win it for you. You know? His thumb twiddles itself. Nana likes the beard. Good. I like that. It stays. Nana says it stays. It stays. That's all good. Beware the beard. I know it. You know, I get some really crazy looks with the beard, man. Dye it. No danger, Mr. Stoneleigh. There's no danger, dude. I'm not going to be one of these dude that colours in my beard. If it goes all multicolours, it goes multicolours. Hang beads on that beard, Kev. Nearly. It's getting long. Indeed. A dirty mind is joy forever. I like that one. What? The scruff needs just for men. Broad hair colour. No, Kristen, I am not dyeing the beard. No. I'd rather take it off than dye the beard. I remember being at work, walking about with my mate, and we'd be nudging each other going, look at that trumpet. He's dyed his beard. Look at it, and it'd be jet black. And it'd be like bits of his hair going grey and just not matching his beard and things. No danger. No way, man. I like the beard if it's real. Regina, brilliant. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I like that. Beards are dirty. Kev, if you shave the beard, leave the mutton chops. I could leave some really good ones there. First time, long time listener, you're doing a great job. And that's Iller Brunga. I like that, man. That sounds like the name of some like Eastern European like seer, some prophet or something like that. What was that other one? Is it Madam Banga? Mabavanga? I can't remember off the top of my head, but that sounds like a cool name. Dye it blue. Trim it more devilish. Tessa, I'm already... I truly am. I don't know what's happened the last few weeks, folks, but some of the shows I've done, they've really triggered people. Really, really badly triggered people to the point where I don't even look at some of the comments on Facebook anymore. I really don't. I even had to reach out to one of my guests because the post that I'd put on Facebook advertising the show, it had been hijacked by what can only be described as militantly brainwashed religious people. And I say that with the fullest of heart because I don't want to fall out with anyone, but dearie me, you know, we're all meant to be looking for answers. We're all meant to be listening to information. And if you can't bear to listen to the other side of the story, then really, I don't think you're in this for the right reasons. You're not really here to learn. You're more here to push your belief systems on other people. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Nana, exactly. I don't get it either. I really don't. And like I said, I had to reach out to the guest to almost apologise for the actions of people because it was disgusting what was being said on there. They were back to their usual. I descended into me being a pedo because I wouldn't respond to anyone. So you know how it goes online nowadays. You know, it used to be the N-word, those bad guys from World War II, but now you eventually end up as a P-word. And all because I dared to have somebody on the show to talk about being a medium, to talk about Wicca, to talk about the positive, the white side of magic, shall we say. And it triggered thousands, absolutely thousands. Crazy times. Crazy times. What else we got in the chat room here before I go? Just shave the goatee so you look like Freddie Mercury or a 70s porn star. Brown chicken, brown cow. It's hard to be a wizard without a beard. I kind of have to have one in my position. Mr. Stoneleigh, are you having a laugh with me? Because if you're a bona fide wizard, that's pretty cool. I can't say I would agree with all of your wizardry and shenanigans and all that stuff, but hey, like I was just talking about there, I talk to everyone. I give everyone their chance to say their piece. Doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with it all of the time, but everyone deserves equal right to have their say, I think. And if we don't look at things from various angles, then what really happens then? We're not growing intellectually. We're not learning anything. We're not challenging our own preconceived ideas and beliefs. So I'll continue to do it the way I do it because it's just who I am. And if it's going to anger people along the way, which I know it will, you know, that's probably one reason why I won't get to the 100,000 subs here on YouTube. Because sometimes people love me because I cover the topics that they're into. But when I'm doing that, there's another group of people absolutely hate me because I'm not talking about something they like. But then when I move on to something that they like, the first crowd that loved me for a couple of months, they turn out hating me. So you see how it all kind of levels out over time. And that's why to get to 92,000 subs, that I'm absolutely delighted. If I never got another one, I'd still be delighted. Damn, if you get 92 subs on YouTube nowadays, that's pretty damn good going. Hard work starting a YouTube channel. And I really think about people that are starting channels now with things the way they are. Wow, it must be absolutely crazy. It must be infuriating at times, truly. So, listen, I've almost taken an hour and a half again. I told you all this was going to be an hour-long stream, and I keep going longer and holding you back from your day. Over here in the UK, it's dinner time, you know. People are probably wanting to get their tea. Over in America, you know, we've got all the soccer mums out there that put their kids to school, because I know yous love the accent, right? I'm joking. I'm feeling a bit boisterous because we were talking sex robots today. Give me grief, right? Give me peace, okay? So one last dip into the chat room, okay? Nancy! Any that is shy, you're such a good show, your flexibility. Any that is why? I get it now. Nancy, I got you. I've just read down and seen you put a typo in there. And of course that means we have got the three, not the three witches of the chat room. No. The three goddesses of chat. We have got Nancy, we've got Nana, and we've got Kristen. They're all in the room at the same time. All these rumours about them being the same person. See, I told you that was all nonsense. I told you. And if anybody needs anything in the chat room, I defer you to these wonderful people. Nothing against my male mods out there, but this is how I kind of do the trade-off for my male toxicity, you know. You get it. So War says, great, now they're going to make bots with extra long thumbs. We're going to take one last look at that before we go today. We have to. Nancy, if you haven't seen this, you're going to have to tell me what the hell's going on here. Check out this. Oh, wrong one. Hey, where are we? There it is. There's the Neffel thumb right there. Now, is that real or is somebody at it? And I get it. Anyone seen that for the first time thinking that's photoshopped? Definitely photoshopped. What if it's not? What if it truly is? We need the clown music on. What if it truly is a Neffel thumb? What if it is some hybrid DNA?
Hey guys, so this is my thumb. Yes, it's very long. Yes, it's real. And yes, I've never lost a thumb.
I want to hit it with a hammer. Who knows, folks? Who knows? But listen, I've had a blast, an absolute blast, hanging out with you today. And as you can tell now, this is going to be a weekly gig, all right? So we're going to have Mondays to Fridays right here during the day, the KBS coffee break. It's going to be a chill-out stream. We're going to find stories for that show of that day. But if I've got guests coming on that night, there'll be no need for us to go looking for stories and stuff like that. We can get into something totally different. We can chill out. We can have a laugh. We'll touch on any breaking news as it comes and goes. But we're going to stay relatively algorithm friendly. We're going to chill out and we're going to get something really good going here. And again, I thank Unirock for inspiring me into this whole streaming realm. I don't know if it inspired me or if whether I should blame him for getting me into this. I really don't know. But I'm loving it. And I said that to Kristen. I said, I'm really, really enjoying this. And it's because of you out there as well. The one thing that used to scare the hell out of me was the trolls. Oh, I hated it. And then over time, I learned how to deal with trolls. But then when you're doing a live show and you get people coming in trolling, that can be a bit of a nightmare, bit of a mission. Trolls? What's a troll? There is none in this chat. And we don't agree on everything. We're not meant to. I don't want that. That's cool. It's like I was saying about bringing other guests onto the show. It's how we learn. You never challenge any of your ideas or hypotheses or beliefs if you don't listen to counter information. So I totally appreciate it. And the mods will tell you, I've told Nancy and Nana and Kristen, they know the score from Uni's chat as well. But as long as you're not offensive and as long as you're not being an asshole, then you can come in and say what you want. You can totally disagree with me, and I encourage that. Just don't be a tosser about it. Because if you're being a tosser about it, then we're going to toss you out the door. No mercy. These girls will just whack you over the head with a pipe, the same as they were talking about earlier on with the sex doll, you know? Whacking the sex doll with a pipe. Never a good idea, right? Maybe it is. Maybe some sex dolls are into that. Maybe some owners of sex dolls are into whacking sex dolls with a pipe. With a name like Brick Doll Banger, who knows what's going on? And yes, I did say that. There's a guy with a name called Brick Doll Banger. If you take nothing away from this stream that we've had today, just remember that no matter how kind of gloomy and doomy the world gets, you can always think back to Brick Doll Banger and realise that, you know, you've got it better than some people out there, right? Right? So I'll see you tonight over on Freaky Friday. I'll be back tomorrow on the nighttime live stream. I don't think I'll be able to do a daytime one over the weekend as well. But I might do an impromptu one. We'll see. I've got the streaming bug now. There's always plenty to talk about. Yous have always got plenty to talk about. Even if I come on a stream with nothing, I think I've got to the point now where people in the chat room could probably do the show. They can just give me links. I'll go and check them out, and we'll all kind of brainstorm it together, right? But for sure, I will be on tomorrow night and Sunday night here on YouTube. And I'll be back next week, Monday to Thursday, on the coffee time stream, the coffee break, and on the Kev Baker show. And of course, tonight, joining forces with Joe Joseph and the new souped up wheels of Scotty Lopez. We're going to find out all about not just his new wheelchair, but his new smart wheelchair. You know, he was having so much fun with it last night. He couldn't even come on to KBS. He was getting used to his new wheelchair. He was playing with all the new kind of things that you can do with a smart wheelchair. And that's why I'm really looking forward to hanging out with Scott tonight. He's going to be far more comfortable. We're going to get into a lot of the stuff about the storm with Scott looking into that stuff. And I hope all of you are there as well. Now, I can't promise that there'll be a simulcast later because it's not just me. You know, Freaky Friday is a TFR show. It's not Kev Baker's Freaky Friday. It's not Joe Joseph's. It's not Scott. So I have to be very wary of whether those guys want to be streaming as well, right? Maybe they don't want to go on camera. So we'll see what happens later. But I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow night with the guys. And I'll be streaming next week on the coffee breaks as well. So until later on, folks, you keep it real. Have fun. Try and dig up some crazy stories. And remember, the world's way too dark and serious as it is without all of us adding even more to it, right? So until next time, I am out of here. If I can find the music. This always happens at this part of the stream, right? There we go.